So I'm with the lovely Sarah Millican. Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. This is the third time I've met you.
I know, this is fun. It's
Yeah,
nice. You're
I
like
keep
a
going
regular thing now.
I'm coming back for more. It's great. You have a new DVD, a live DVD out
I
called
do.
Outsider.
Yes.
It looked like a fun tour.
It was long. It was the longest one I've done. But also it's my favourite thing to do. So if something is longer but you still love it, that's all right, isn't it?
Yeah, because the last time I saw you, you were gearing up for the tour.
Yes, that's right.
And now you're obviously pushing the DVD, which is great, which is out now for Christmas.
Yeah, and the DVD is
Nicely
kind
timed.
of like the final hurrah of a show that's been with me for quite a long time. Because obviously I write it in dribs and drabs, and then I try it out at sort of 10-minute spots at a time, and then I start working on it properly, and then we get it ready, and then we take it on tour for a year. Took it to Australia, New Zealand, and all around the UK, and then now I get to go for all the people who have seen it and wanted to see it again. Great, and the people who didn't get a chance to come and see it.
Yeah,
and it's a really nice thing to be able to give that to people.
And breathing a sigh of relief, like you said, it was a long tour, the longest
Yeah.
one you've done. And the last time I saw you, you were just gearing up for that long
Yes.
tour. Do you feel quite relieved that it's all over now?
I'm relieved that it went really well.
Yeah.
Because we sold loads of tickets, which was great, and we had loads of lovely full rooms and beautiful theatres. And we had one. We had to cancel it. Well, we moved it because I completely lost my voice and I was entirely inaudible, and so we moved that to another date. But in a whole year, that's quite impressive to only have to have cancelled one. I was really, because you worry about your voice, because you're 2 hours of talking every probably 5 or 6 nights a week for a year you're terrifying, because you do the vocal exercises and all that sort of stuff just to make sure that it's strengthened, and you're nervous in case you lose your voice, because obviously without that I am nothing.
Yeah, that is interesting, because you normally associate the vocal exercise with singers, but obviously if you're a stand-up,
and that's the thing, you've got you don't get any training when you do stand-up. You get training in how to be funny and how to make that work, but nobody ever thinks about their voice. And when you're doing such a long stint, I saw a vocal coach, and she gave me exercises. So each day I would do exercises just to kind of make sure that I still had a voice at the end.
There is a fantastic picture. It's a cartoon of you to promote this DVD, of you with your back turned.
Oh, yeah.
And you have got your dress caught in your knickers.
Yes.
And I wanted to ask you if that has actually happened, because a lot of your comedy is based on real life, obviously, and real experiences.
Yes. It has. Well, it happens. I think it happens when you're younger. It certainly happened when I was going out drinking in my early 20s, late
the
teens.
dreaded drink. It's always to blame, isn't it?
But also, I think it's a sort of thing when I was in my 20s I'd be mortified of. But now that I'm in my 40s, I wouldn't care. I just pull it out, or even I might just put it in. I might even just tuck my skirt in my knickers.
And have you ever come out of the toilet with toilet roll stuck to your shoe?
Loads. I actively do that.
That's a brilliant one, isn't it?
Well, they've got a bit later on for when you have to blow your nose. It's all good.
Yeah, exactly. Look at the positives.
I try to look at positives.
Has any of that happened on stage? Have you ever had a mishap on stage where...
No, I'm very... Well, because I've got a tour manager, I think I would hope that he would say, your skirt's tucked in the knickers. And also I wear leggings as well, because I think it's a dangerous territory if you had bare legs, because then there's always a chance that things are tucked up. So no, I try to look all right, because you don't want people laughing at the wrong things, do you?
But to be honest, you could work it into your set though, couldn't you? It'll be very ad-lib, but you're used to that though, aren't you?
And then but if it worked, I'd have to accidentally do that every night for the rest of the tour, wouldn't I?
How much of your audience do you know? Because obviously you get to meet a lot of the people afterwards, after the shows. Because it's a show that, as a comedian, you really kind of resonate, or people resonate, a lot of women resonate with your experiences. And a lot of men are obviously followers of your comedy too.
I think people always assume that my audience is entirely female, and that's not the case at all. I'd say often it's 50-50 or maybe 60-40 women.
Women and gay men.
Yeah, women and gay men. But a lot of, because couples come, so there'll be a gay couple, straight couple, so there'll often be straight men in there as well. And also quite multi-generational groups will come, so there'll be a girl and her mum and dad and their grandma as well. And also I think the kids are always terrified that their grandma's going to hear some rude things. And the grandma knows what you're talking about. She knows what she's talking about more than you do.
Do you think the men are laughing because they get their female partner or their wife's experiences, they understand all that as well?
Maybe, but I think also people are people, and I don't think gender is always that relevant. I think some of the things that I've done, I know that blokes have done the same, sometimes it's just about being a bit rubbish at life. Yeah,
no, I completely agree. Have you ever struggled on stage with laughing too much and laughing at the wrong moment?
Sometimes people do that. Sometimes, if not so much on tour, but more on the circuit, if people are a bit drunk, they sometimes laugh because you've ended a sentence because they think that's when the laugh should be. But that doesn't happen so much on tour. And also my audience aren't really drinkers. They come and they get mad if there's no ice cream, but they're not bothered about the booze quite so much.
They're there with their pot of tea.
Yeah, exactly. They brought a flask from home.
Have you ever laughed at a funeral in real life?
I don't think I have. Have you ever laughed at that? Makes it sound like you might have done that.
No, but my phone's gone off in a funeral, which was very embarrassing because normally I put it on silent, and for the one time, and it would have to be that
and
one time.
Did it have an embarrassing ringtone? Was it just a normal ring?
It was a normal ringtone.
It wasn't some kind of horrific song that was appropriate.
Could have been a lot worse.
Could have been a lot worse. Did you answer it?
I was like frantically trying to switch it off. You know, in those panic moments where everything just goes slow motion.
Yes. Oh, but at least you didn't answer it. That would have been awful if you'd been like,
imagine?
"Hello, I'm at a funeral. I'm going to have to go now, love."
Everyone was giving me the daggers, the glares.
But some people, if their phone goes off in an audience, I've been in an audience when this happens, and they just ignore it, even though you know it's theirs. They've got their bag in front of them, or it's in their coat pocket, and they just ignore it, thinking, "Well, it'll stop soon." And because then, as soon as they go in their bag, then everybody knows it's definitely them, and then all the terrible looks start firing their way. Yeah, exactly.
Now things change when you reach 40. You've recently turned 40.
Yes.
I know that we should never ask a lady her age.
41.
It is well known. It's common knowledge. You mentioned recently, and it's part of your tour actually, the Outside show. Outsiders show that's out on DVD. You stopped doing certain things when you turned 40. And for you, with the leggings?
I stopped sniffing my leggings. I think people don't know that people do that. And it's only when I've talked about it on stage that the women all go, "Oh, thank God, that's not just me." Yeah. Because you do think, well, you know, I had them on and they were close to me bits, but maybe I can get another day, have a little sniff, and you go, turns out not. But I stopped doing that when I turned 40. I thought there's some things that I can just let go now, and I've stopped doing that. And now I just wear them as many days as I like because I'm not really bothered.
I love that because, like you say, a lot of women will be hands in the air. Yes, I do that too.
Yeah, I get a lot of that. I get a lot of elbow, and I can see people elbowing each other like, "Oh, you're like that." You know, I like that. That's fun.
Now, you got a neck kiss by Usher. He kissed you on the neck on Loose Women.
Yes. How did you find out about that?
A lot of women and a lot of gay men will be very jealous of you there.
Well, a lot of women as well. He was he came on the show, and it was when I was on the panel, and he, you know, sometimes you know about somebody and you think, "Oh, he's quite dishy, but it's not really my sort of thing." You know, it's not my type or whatever. Didn't really know much about him, to be honest. And he bent down to kiss me on the cheek, and I moved and
conveniently,
and he kissed me on the neck. And somebody sent my husband a text message saying, because my husband wasn't watching because he was at work with me, and somebody sent my husband a text message saying, "Do you know Usher just kissed your wife on her neck?" And he
the
was
erogenous zone.
Okay. Well, there are worse ones you could have kissed, I think. Well, better, worse, whatever. Same difference.
So who is next on your bucket snog list? I know you have got a husband who might be listening to this. We've got to be careful.
He's well, you know what? He's on my. I've been away from home a lot. He's on my bucket list.
Oh,
yeah, it would be nice
really
to kiss his
face
a lot.
That's the right answer, Sarah.
Yeah, I saved it, didn't I?
There.
I saved it.
Now, Christmas is coming. We're literally weeks away. What is the festive period like in the Millican household? Is it quite chaotic?
It's not too chaotic. We don't do anything until mid-December. I'm not one of these people who puts their tree up in October. So we do it is a bit panicked before Christmas. But then when the shops shut on Christmas Eve and you think, well, whatever we haven't got, we'll just have to live without it. And I quite like that bit because then there's no pressure. Well, last year I accidentally bought honeycomb flavour matchmakers like some kind of idiot instead of orange, which is what I like. And my husband went out on Christmas Eve afternoon in like Troll in the shops, and he came in and I took a photo because he held them aloft 2 boxes of orange matchmakers.
You got right on there.
Hero! He's such a hero.
You got the best husband ever.
I think I have.
He looks after you.
He was so good. And then as soon as the shop shut, then everything calms down a bit because then it's just about being at home. And then we've got some family coming this year, and I do a thing. I don't know if I told you about this before. I do a thing on Christmas Eve called Join In on Twitter, where we get everybody who's on their own and doesn't want to be to kind of use this hashtag of Join In, and they all can have a conversation with each other, and it makes people feel a little bit less lonely on Christmas Day.
I love that idea.
Oh, we've done
because
it 6 years,
a lot of people slag off
I
social
think.
media, don't they? But it can really bring people together, like you say.
It can, and sometimes it is a horrible place.
Yeah.
We all know this, but also it's about what you do with it. You can make it a really positive place.
Now, I've asked people that listen to the show.
Yes.
To ask you practically anything.
I
did have to
I
asterisk it.
today.
Yeah. Thank you very much for
You're
that.
welcome. I thought, let's see what we get on this.
You have to be very careful suggesting that you can ask anything because you can't ask everything.
Let's filter them.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm ready.
You can censor them. Brad in London You have the aura of someone you'd want to cuddle. Are you a good cuddler? I can actually answer that.
Yeah, you can.
You are a good cuddler.
Well, I think I've got good arms. You need to have sort of slightly dinner lady arms, and I think I have. I think I look like I could mash a potato, don't I?
That's a good quality.
It's a good quality. And both arms, so I'm clearly ambidextrous at the
Spud
mashing.
basher.
Yeah, totally. Sounds like a euphemism for something else, I'm sure.
Never thought of that.
You got a new one now.
Before I ask questions and say things in interviews.
I think I am quite a huggy person. I'm quite selective. I don't hug everybody because I think you run out of hugs then. You've got none left for your family. But I do like to hug and I like to be hugged. So yeah, I think, and I'm glad that you've reinforced that.
You're a very tactile person. I can see
Thanks.
that. Tactile in the right way, not in a pervy way.
Not in a sort of, I'm not going to honk anything without permission.
Andrew Quick in Brighton. I heard a rumour that you're writing a sitcom. Is that true?
I don't know where you heard that rumour, but that's not true.
Well, it's not, straight away.
No,
cut to the chase.
That feels like I'm always terrified of things I've never done before. So I tend to do, because I love writing stand-up and I love performing stand-up, so that's always my first love. But also something like that sounds terrifying. And there are so many good people writing sitcoms, I'll just leave them to it. I like watching sitcoms.
I can see you doing a great job of that, though. Have you ever thought about it?
Not really. Okay, maybe. Okay, you know what, guys? I'll write a sitcom. As soon as you've asked.
I love it. Ahlen in Manchester. What do you think about when you're alone?
Oh.
Yeah, I know. I saw the dark
chef
side of
kissing
that.
my neck.
I'm sure if you're listening, there's someone else waiting for one as well. Chris in London, what would your DJ name be? That's a really good question, actually.
DJ name.
Because I haven't got one. I'm a DJ, but I'm just Phil Marriott, which is quite boring. But I just does what it says on the tin.
Do they do like what would it be? Do you think Sarah Millican? What would Sarah? Mill I Can? Can I be Mill I Can?
DJ Spud Basher.
DJ Spud Basher.
Maybe not. Okay, Lisa in Preston. You have a return ticket for one trip in a time machine. What time and place will you go to visit?
Time and place would I go to visit? Oh, I think I sometimes lose things. So I think whenever I decide to do that, I would go back to the place and time in my house when I think I lost that thing and try and find that blooming thing.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm always missing things. My other half will tell
really?
you.
Oh, just my husband is constantly like, oh, I don't know what. And it's things like his inhaler. It's not like a wallet that you think, well, that's bad, but an inhaler is like life or death.
Yeah.
And I'm like, maybe the thing that you need to like breathe, maybe keep an eye on that a bit more closely. I'd go back in time to wherever he left his glasses last, because he's always leaving his glasses in different places. So
thinking of your husband again. I love that. It's great.
Well, he's good. He's a good man. He gets matchmakers at the last minute. What else do you need?
I was going to ask you what the perfect Christmas would be and the most hellish Christmas would be, but I think that answered the question.
With matchmakers, without matchmakers.
The orange ones. Sarah, it's always a joy to see you.
Oh, so lovely to see you too.
I wish you the best of luck with the DVD. Not that you need it.
Oh, bless
but
you.
It is great and everyone needs to go and buy it. It's out now. And it is the perfect stocking filler.
Oh, well, I hope so. And I hope that people who put it in front of their families, I hope they're not too horrified by the rude bits.
That's the bits I love.
You put the kids out the room, but you let Nana in the room. Nana knows about this stuff. Remember that.
Sarah, it's good to see you.
And you. Thank
All
you
the
so
best.
much.
Have a good Christmas.
And you. Merry Christmas.